So Kim K and the photo shoot.
So let's dip up out of here.
Yeah. No, that's Lloyd and Lil. Yeah. That's Lloyd and Lil Wayne. That's who that was.
Heard.
Oh yes, okay, Lloyd.
Yeah. You're right. You're right.
Yeah. That's fine too.
I said Pretty Ricky. Yikes. Oh, what about it, bro?
So yeah, so Kim K had a photo shoot. She's looking darker than normal, and well, the one that I think got more traction was Amanda Seales, her video about calling her out about this is what the Kardashians do. They take what Black women do and then they get money off of it, but then at the same time, Black women, if they were to do something like braids, like we've seen or heard about lots of incidents where even just girls will get in trouble for going to school in box braids or the hair is natural and saying it's dirty or not fit for class, which is crazy. Black people are people with hair. We're not going to go into that anyway. But the point is, the Kardashians are known for that. And then this photo shoot happened. A lot of people are saying she was trying to channel Elizabeth Taylor, who's a white woman. But Elizabeth Taylor, in the picture, they showed that she was trying to channel was her regular skin color. And then they showed a couple of pictures with Diana Ross, where she had a similar pose, similar hairstyle, similar dress. And they were like, yeah, she was not trying to channel no Elizabeth Taylor. So how do you guys feel about Kim Kardashian and some of the things she's done in regards to using, not using, what's the word? In regards to taking some things from Black culture and then monetizing it.
Like, are we just going to go based off of this picture, or are we going back on the history as well? Like, just
yeah, you can use as well as your knowledge historically of what she's done in the past.
Because honestly, if I'm just going based off of this picture, like, people do know that, like, this isn't, like, to me, this doesn't seem too far from what, like, her in makeup and, like, her, like, close to her, like, normal complexion is. Like, so, I mean, if they're going to try to use this picture as, like...
You said it doesn't look too far from what her actual complexion is?
From what I see, like her actual complexion is lighter, but she's been, like, put a bunch of, like, makeup on before and, like, had her face, like, especially with lighting and stuff, like, come on, look at it. Like, to me, it's not, like, she's not like she's, like, some pale, super duper, extremely pale person who decided to do this. Like, you seen her tan or, like, use, like, be like...
Bro, she looked light-skinned in that. I just feel it was manipulated for that. Like, yeah, when you do it that way, it's easy to be like, well, you know, we just added some effects and spray tan, but...
I mean, like, if we're doing this just now, it's just like, where have y'all been, like, for years and years now when she's been doing this? It's like, to make people doing it now, I'm just like, all right, now y'all decide to say something about this.
Nah, people have been saying things for a while. It's just...
And yet people have still been supporting her this whole time, you know, so I'm just like, if people have still been supporting it, I'm just like, all right, y'all. Like, if you're still supporting it, then you're not doing anything to me.
It's like Donald Trump. People still support him, and then there's also people who consistently speak out about him. Like, regardless.
Yeah, I agree with that statement.
She's a famous celebrity, and she's gonna have people who follow her. I mean, she has like millions and millions of followers. So
yeah,
people can say things, but it's I don't know. I guess she just has too much, like, social power, social media power, social presence for it to really ever stick.
And I mean, people continually give this stuff attention. So I mean, you know, I'm at this point, I've gotten to a point where, like, Kardashians and, you know, this and we're just like, only thing I can do as one person is just, like, I can not support them, not pay them any attention because they don't mean anything to me. So it's just like, can't control what everybody else does. Like, I'm glad to see other people calling it out. Like, I mean, no matter how long it takes them to do it or realize it, when you see it, call it out. You know, and it's just kind of like a join the club thing to me. Just how I feel about it at this point now.
Yeah, I agree. Even if something may not be done, you still have to at least let it be known, not let it go unspoken. And I mean, I also agree with what you said about it doesn't really affect me. It's just uh, a good something that's good to have an understanding of. But it is what it is. In this, especially in America, Black people are the minority, and this is something that, unfortunately, as a minority, you have to deal with sometimes.
I feel that since the beginning of time, as long as quote unquote African people have existed, they have been let's say, how do I say
Monetized.
Yeah, but like copied in the major sense, like copied. Like African culture has been copied throughout the globe and used pretty much everywhere, especially when it comes to European I don't know, society. Like I feel like European society took a lot from African society as a whole, and they still do to this day. So it's like, to me, it's not far-fetched to see this happening. Like it's been happening. If you take a moment and think about just quote unquote hip hop, think about how it first started out and where it is now, and like how Europeans in America have taken pretty much everything about it, monetized it, used it for their benefit, and are right now are running the hip hop game. It's that simple. It's always gonna happen. So as long as we exist and they exist among us. But as a whole, I think it's photos can easily be manipulated. As you guys know, I take pictures. I use software to edit photos and stuff like that. It's easy. It's easy to make someone's skin look darker. It's easy to make someone's skin look lighter. All you do is click a mouse and slide it left or right. Like it's not hard. So I think it wasn't completely up to her whether if those photos got released, two, how those photos were edited. So it's not all in her power. Like whoever took the picture has some effect on it. Whoever did her makeup has some effect on it. Whoever edited those pictures and photoshopped them had some effect on it. So it's like, as a whole, you see, I guess, I mean, they're partly responsible, but at the same time, you see, it's the whole collective that allows it to happen. It's not just one person making a decision like, oh, da 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 da. So if you're gonna attack, you have to understand who's the editor on that, who did this, who did that, and go for the whole collective and not just one person, because she is partly responsible, but she does not care. I guarantee it.
And think about it this way, like, if you're gonna do something like this, like, how many times has something like this been done, and we call out the celebrity that's just there taking the pictures? Like, never. That's just
my point.
Go on to Zay, just to go on Zay's point, like, it's never like the editors, the photographers, the people doing makeup, the magazines. It's never really those entities that get called out for it. It's always the person in front. So I mean, it's just a little way, like a little adjusted thinking. I like that.
Yeah, it's definitely a big societal thing of the darker you are, the more attractive you are, except if you're Black. So white people, or even, Spanish people, whatever, are always trying to get tan. They want to be tan. They don't like being pale. And then there's the, it's crazy how Italians will call another Italian, like, they want to, I think that's stereotypical, is tall, dark, and handsome Italian, but
that's European in general. It's not just Italian.
I've honestly only heard that used with Italian men.
I've heard it a million times from.
All right, well, I'm just going off of, right now I'm going off of what I know. So from what I've heard with Italians, is tall, dark, and handsome, and they're not dark compared to, you know, the wide spectrum of human beings we have on this planet. So there's always this fascination of being dark, but then when it comes to the actual dark people, they're kind of like stepped on and, you know, cast aside, I guess. So it was just an interesting, I guess maybe paradox would be the word, but how that plays out. Like they always want to be darker, darker this, but then when it comes to actual dark beings, it's like, oh no, we don't like them, this and that. So it's almost, well, not almost, it is a little bit of a jealousy, and then also when you're copying someone, they also say that's a high form of appreciation. Is it appreciation? Yeah. But that's also, well, I was saying all that to say that's how it plays into like why the editor and whoever did the makeup won't really say anything. It's kind of embedded in them, like, okay, you know, as dark as we can get her within, you know, context.
Within certain standards.
That'll be good. Yeah, within certain standards, that'll be good. So they'll never see it as, oh, like, we're not trying to make her black. It's just being tan or, you know, not being pale is what's in, what's cool.